Hello, hello, hello. Oh, well, when one way doesn't work, there's always another way. And that's what it's all about, right? It's a different world today. We live through the world of technology. And the one important thing that we do have to know is we have to know all different options in our lives. And maybe that's the key word. So when something doesn't work, there's always another way. So
Resilience. We are resilient.
we are the resilient women. And so today, welcome all and welcome, Nicole. Thank you for joining me and hopping in. If not one way, we jump in another, right?
I know you should see how fast my hands were typing this and copying that and sending that, and I really have impressed myself.
That's right. And that's what it's all about. And you know what? When we think we can or we think we can't, I just did a video this morning. Either way, we're right. It's all on what we believe in our own minds.
Absolutely,
And
absolutely.
right. So part of it is knowing that you can no matter what. So
Yes, and
thank you for joining us today, whoever is jumping on and watching and following. We have a few things that we want to talk about today. So it's time to get real again, right?
absolutely. Let's do this.
So, but first of all, let's begin by a special announcement this Wednesday. What's happening this Wednesday on Let's Get Real, Nicole?
Oh, you can't see it, but we have David Meltzer coming to join us. He had to cancel a couple weeks ago, and he is scheduled for Wednesday, the 15th of March. And I, for one, am very excited about that because I have been delving into who he is and what he stands for. And, normally I'm not like that business minded person. That's just not my forte. I kind of go by the seat of my pants, my gut intuition, my heart led. But I started reading his book, Connected to Goodness, which is an interesting title in and of itself, given the fact that it's business. And what I started reading was how totally connected he was to himself, to the universe, to others. There's quotes in here, but it's I've never read a business book that gives you so much information regarding spirituality. So for me, the minute I started reading that, I really couldn't put it down.
Well, he's a mastermind in so many levels. And he's been through, first of all, he's a lawyer. He's an entrepreneur. He's been in the sports industry. He's created so much. He's lost a ton of money and he's made back a ton of money. And now it's his whole analogy is for helping and supporting others. And his first question is how can I help you? And I love people like that. So we will be blessed and having him on stage on Let's Get Real on this coming Wednesday, which is March the 15th, I believe.
Yep.
And I also want to put it out there to anybody who would like a copy. It is actually a signed copy by David himself, David Meltzer, and we will put it out there. Whoever wants a signed copy of his book, Connected to Goodness, I want to put it out there that I have several signed copies that David has sent to me, and I would love to share it with others because it is a magnificent read. He gives you analogies about moving forward in your life, about yes, he is very spiritual, but he is more than that. He's a business minded gentleman. He believes in helping others, but through his he wants to make a lot of money, have fun, and help others along the way. And what a great way of looking out. So anybody who is interested in getting a copy, I would be delighted to ship it out, no cost to anybody. My idea is as well, I found it to be a great read, and I think that others should be reading it as well. Yes, I am a woman who's been through major different businesses throughout her life, and so I have a business mind, but having this spiritual side of things and how he talks about the values, experiences, your personal values, bringing clarity in your mind, focusing, how to focus. All of these things are such great to do. So join us this Wednesday on the 15th of March while we bring on David Meltzer to our live program, and we speak with him and find out how he's done what he has done through his life.
Yeah, he's very interesting also. And you know, when I watch him on some of the, you know, he on LinkedIn, he comes live every morning, and I've been watching him and kind of studying him, and you can tell a lot just by body language when you really are aware and paying attention.
Yeah.
And he is, in my opinion, he's very down to earth. And like I said before, I'm not that person that's going to pick up a business book and read through it. But in this situation, this was very, very different for me. And I went in thinking, well, I'm going to read it because I want to know about him because I'm interviewing him. And then I got to the point where, you know what, I haven't met this guy and I like him, you know. So anybody who wants this, and it is not just a business book. There's a lot of information that anyone can utilize.
It's a life book. It really, truly is a life book. And that's what I looked about David. We have Jeff who's popping on just to say hello. It is a great read. Jeff, thanks so much. And if you want a copy, let me know and I could mail you out a copy. I'm not sure, since I'm in Canada and I can send it to you, if you'll get it by when he's coming on live on Let's Get Real on Wednesday, but for sure it will get to you sooner. It will get to you a little later than sooner, but I'd be thrilled to send it to you if you're interested. But that is one of the big things that we wanted to bring out today, and letting you know that if you want to start learning about different philosophies in life and of how to move yourself forward in different ways, this is one of the key ideas. And we also wanted to speak that Nicole and I will be offering, great. Nicole and I will be offering, we have a new program starting starting this month, and we're looking to be sharing and helping because, you know, have you ever felt like, you know, and Nicole, like, we want to put it out to people, but, you know, you ever felt that there was a part of life where maybe you wanted to have more, and there was more that you could do than what you had done throughout your life? And
Glenda, I lived that statement for probably 20 years. And, you know, I knew there was more than what I was doing, but I was so stuck in where I thought I had to be and or needed to be that I didn't become aware almost of what was going on around me. And I think there's a lot of people that just get stuck or mired into what they're doing, and sometimes what they're doing is just existence. And I know I was that person for a very long time. And you know, I posted last week a picture of me when I started my healing journey, and you know, that I really hesitated to do something like that because I've never really, some people knew, not everyone. And I thought, you know, I want people to understand that this is something I've been through. I've walked through that muck and sludge. And, you know, if I can do it, anyone can. And when you come out on the other side, the emotions and the feelings and it is just life altering. And I think you feel the same way.
Yeah, so, you know, I'll share with you my story. You know, I left a relationship that I was in for 14 years. And after that relationship that I left, because it was very different, deceitful, and it was everything, it broke me. And, you know, when I moved into had a home over my head, I had no job, I had no car. I was now sharing my new place with my children. We hadn't been together in a while. We all fell in the same place. And as the next day when I got up, my place is filled with boxes, and I sat there and I felt broken. I felt I didn't know, you know, I didn't know about me. Like I was not the person anymore. I had lost the confidence in myself. I didn't know what I was capable of doing. And I sat back and said, what do I do with my life? What do I do with myself? And at this point, I'm now 52, and I'm thinking to myself, this is a really terrible place that you were at now, Glenda, and I sort of sat there and had to figure out, so going back, first of all, just like you say, of going through the part of, and this can happen to you, whether you've lost a job, whether you're feeling dead in your job. It's not just leaving a relationship, or you're just tired of feeling tired, sick and tired of feeling sick and tired. And you've got to go through back a little bit and find out what. Now you got to go through a healing process of understanding yourself, and that process takes a little bit of time. And it was through that process that I recreated myself, just as you did. And because of that now, because of the steps that I have taken and Nicole has taken, we want to put it out there to help others who are sick and tired of being sick and tired, who know that there's more that they can do and give to others, and most importantly to themselves, and maybe even to their families. So if you were at that point, come along and let us know. Maybe it's time that you want to go back and reflect and start to look at your past so that you can reinvent who you are. Because sometimes, we want to talk about this for a few minutes, right?
Absolutely. And one of the things for me is there's a lot that goes on in your subconscious. We're run 95% by our subconscious memories that are buried deep inside of us. And some of these things we're not even aware of why we're doing it. So there might be something that's a little bit off, but you might not even know what or why. And that's the part where you have to dig. And that's the part that's always going to need healing. And these can be memories, cellular memories from your mother being pregnant, or even before that. This can be memories of something at 18 months old that happened or was said. By age 7, we've got a lot of stuff embedded in our bodies that we're running our programs on, and we don't even know. And that was how I was, Glenda. I didn't realize that a lot of what had happened to me, or what was embedded, was so deep that the things I were putting out there were really not me. There was someone else's story that I had captured through cellular memory. And so even if you think your life is fabulous, there's just times that you can kind of look at it and think, I wonder. And you can just stop there. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what's inside of me. I wonder why I do that. Why do I think that? So there's a lot of things that people aren't even aware of at this moment, like I was. I had no idea. And it's a grand awakening. It really is. And I'm for everybody waking up.
Yeah. And Jeff just says it perfectly, right? You can't move forward freely until we free from our past secrets and pains.
Absolutely.
And that's so true. And it can happen at any time and any age. And that's part of some of the keys of moving forward and recreating who you are, because we don't realize it. But here's the thing, when we say about reinventing and recreating, a lot of us have that worry that, what are we talking about? How do I create myself? How do I start all over again? The key is, you're not starting all over. You're not starting from a blank canvas. We have so much that we've gone through in our lives. So, when you're starting and you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s, you're not starting from a blank canvas. What we do with you is we go through and we find out through our 3-step process of where your genius zones are, where your passions are. And we have a way of going through it, and we will work our magic with you so that we will help lead you to the way to becoming what you want deep down inside. And whether you know or you don't know, The whole idea is helping you to build it so you can create that person that you need to be. And that's
Absolutely. And if you're at a point where you're listening and you're thinking, and you might not even be there yet, but what I listen for is the place to go to is your true center, which is your heart. And your heart is going to guide you, your heart is going to tell you. And if you listen to your body and your mind, those are your true centers. And we meet you where you are right now. You've lived through your past, so you can reflect on it, but you know what did work and what didn't work, what stories you told yourself that you look back at. I know I do. It's like, that wasn't me at all. That was nowhere near who I was, who I wanted to be. And I just felt I can become. There's more to me than this. And that's where it starts. And then from what you were to what you can become, when you finally decided to take that step on this journey, that's when you can really become who you desire and were meant to be.
And if you're feeling that, you don't have that confidence to move forward, well, as a certified life coach, it's me that will pull that confidence out of you. But it takes one little thing. It's the courage to say, you know what? I'm sick and tired of feeling sick and tired about myself. I know that there's more out there for me. This job is not doing it for me anymore. Or, you know what? I need to create something that is me, that brings out my true self. Because you do have those things. And whether it's a new business, whether you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're tired of looking at those extra pounds, that you're not feeling pretty enough, good enough, whatever it is, it's that courage of saying, it's time for me to stop listening to that old story that's happening inside of my head, that thing that's knocking me off. Isn't it time to feel good about who you are?
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And from what I teach and learn, a lot of people, we all have things that we've had to go to counselors for, and we've had to get counseling about. And I did that also. And, sometimes I felt like regardless of what I did, I really wasn't healing. I just kind of kept reliving it and kind of reestablishing it into my cellular memory by talking about it. So everyone tried to kind of push me into forgiveness coaching, which what I do goes hand in hand. But also, one of the things you have to do is you have to release and let go of all those deep inner feelings that are interfering with your true path and the true love for yourself. And so once you realize that, and you might not even know how to go about it yet, there is a way to reinvent yourself by releasing all of those little cellular memories from your journey, starting at birth up until now. And up until now, that's old for me, if you want to say that, but it's a lot of work. I won't lie about that. It is a tremendous amount of work. But when you step into that other side of who you truly are and who you came here to be and who you came here to serve, it is worth every single moment of looking, searching, getting rid of the tears, everything that you go through to get to that other side. It can, as you look back, it was well worth it to finally be on that joyous path that you were really created for.
And we talk about also the stories that you tell yourself. Through the years, we hold ourselves back so often. And it's very common. And even at this point in life, so if you're looking at yourself, possibly you're watching us and you're 40 plus and you're just feeling like, you haven't done what you think you're made to do, or you're not capable of doing it and you're scared. It's some of the stories that we start talking about to our own self in our mind of, we're not able to do it. I don't have the skills. How often do we hear or we think to ourselves, we don't have the skills to learn? But let me tell you something. There's so many ways that you can put it out there. And I know, because it's what I've learned through the years of the skills that I have built for that and the connection. So whether you have the skills or not, don't let that stop you. You have the ability of getting your message across, of creating the new person you want to be, of creating a new life, a new job, a new business, a new you in so many ways. But we got to stop by the stories that we start convincing ourselves, the perception of what everybody is talking about us, because we're always worried about what everybody is saying. Stop worrying about them. Start worrying or start moving fast because of you, about your wanting to believe in yourself. And it all starts by having that little bit of courage of saying, I'm it. I want to go into this. I want to start creating something for me, where whatever level it might be.
Absolutely. And it's so interesting because I stayed small for so many years. And even though I had it in my mind what I wanted to do, and this is after my divorce, I was not quite ready to step into my power. And you do have a timeline, and I understand that. But the minute I stepped over it, it's like these doors opened. When you walk into a supermarket and both the doors swing open, I'm like, and now it's like, of course, I say to myself, why didn't I do this a couple years ago? But I don't think I would have been as effective, because from then to now, the learning process has been so great to me. But I am doing things today that I never saw myself doing before. And it's because I stepped over that line of fear into my courage, into my true self. And the things that I've learned, it's like, my gosh, that was so simple. Why didn't I do that? I'm sitting here working Canva, and there's Chat GPT, and writing books, and, helping people on their journey to heal. And, we have just got limitless potential to do and or learn anything we set out to do. And one of the things I do every night before I go to bed, and I'm telling you, this works every single time, is I just say, as I'm getting into that state of not quite asleep, but not quite awake, all my problems have answers. All my problems will be solved in the morning. And sure enough, when I get up, it's just like, bam, it's there. It's there.
But I'll tweak you a little bit, because I don't believe they're problems. I believe they're just challenges.
Challenges, yeah.
They make you think. And I can't tell you how many times that I've had major knockdowns, and it was like, how am I going to get through this one? And I do the same thing. At night, I say to myself, you know what? Somehow in the morning, the truth or the solution will come to me. And it
Yes.
always does.
I
So
know.
it's always asking for things. So if you're looking that you want to maybe start your own podcast and don't know how, if you're looking that you need to start learning how to make ebooks and you don't know how, if you're looking that you just want to become more confident and you don't know how, whatever is holding you back, join us, because this is what we want for you, is to become who you really are. Instead of being under those covers, I want you to come out from under the covers and come out and be who you really are, because you are the most magnificent soul. And I want you to stop playing small with who you think that other people will talk to you about. That doesn't matter anymore. It's time that you live the life that you're meant to live. It's time that you walk out there and be who you are, and stop worrying what anyone's going to say, because it's not your problem what people say. And most likely when people talk about others, what they really show is their true selves. So become who you believe you need to be. And we help you walk through that by our 3-step process, the 3 R's.
And Glenda, that's so true, is you can't take anything personally, and you honestly, you can't worry about what anyone else says. I've learned just to be me, just to do what I do, And if I don't resonate with that person or they don't resonate with me, that is fine. There is no judgment. There is, no gossip. There's nothing, but we just split ways. And I wish them well, because I know that anything I wish on them comes back to me.
So we go through this our process, and here's the other thing I want people to realize, that it's so important. Some people feel ashamed of what they've gone through in their lives. Whether you've maybe you were fired from a job and you don't want people to know because you're ashamed that you were fired. Maybe you've left a relationship or something's happened in that relationship, and sometimes we feel ashamed that we've gone through a divorce or what has gone through in that relationship. Sometimes we, even as parents, we have times when we never, it's not that it's sometimes we don't know the right way to parent, especially at a young age, or we've done things as parents that we're not proud of. But we have these shames that that knock us down. And I want you to know that those shames aren't, I don't want you to look at it as that. You've made it past that time. So I want you to actually be proud of who you are, that you've made it past. But we use those points of what you have done in your past. And then instead of knocking yourself down, we use it as part of our blueprint of what we can use as part of the ways of our skills, of the things that we've learned and how we've come out of that to learn of who your true talents are. So if you're looking at building forward, that gives us a blueprint of what we can use to move forward. So stop looking at it as your negatives and look at it as positives. That is part of your hero's journey. And I want you to be proud of yourself. Instead of knocking yourself down for it, those are just simply learns in life. And that's what it takes to move forward.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the thing about that is if anything that you think you fell back, I always say there's no failure, there's only feedback. So ask yourself, what did you learn? And I have learned a lot, and I have learned some very hard lessons. But had I not learned those, I would not be sitting here talking today and wanting to help other people and helping other people. And so those pains that I had during my learning process have been turned into pleasures because of everything that I have learned that I can now help others navigate and walk through.
So we're going to take our wins, we're going to take our learns, and we're going to show you the way have we rebuilt ourselves from the total knockdowns in life, from the points where maybe we've had some shames. And we're going to show you how to move forward, to grow from that, to become that true, happy person of who you can and are becoming. So stop looking at yourself in this point and feeling that I wish I did. I wish I did, and I wish I could have. And all of the others wishing or I should have. Like I will say, stop shitting on yourself and start living for yourself. And join us in our new program and build yourself up to being the best who you can. And through our analogies and through the process and our workbooks, you will start building up whatever it is that you're looking for. So whether you're looking for a new beginning, to heal from some bad things that you have been through, it's time to start moving forward and looking to build that special new sum of who you really are. Okay, now Jeff says.
He gets it. He totally gets it. Absolutely. Thank you, Jeff. That's an awesome compliment. Yeah. Oh, he has to run. Oh, thank you for showing up, Jeff.
Yes, thank you for joining us. And thank you all for coming on today and joining us. And if you were interested in learning a little bit more of what we have and would like to even do book a call with Nicole and I on a meet and greet. And through a meet and greet, we will just go through and explain to you what the process is. And there's nothing obligating you, just for a quick meet and greet and see where you are and what you want. We'll let you know whether this is something that will work for you, whether this is something that is meant for you, and it's simply nothing more than just us being able to meet you which will be the most magnificent thing that we can ask for.
Yes. And I think it's Luana. I see you, Luana. Hello, my friend. One of the ways people can reach out to me is obviously through Facebook. You can direct message me and we can set up a time. I think Glenda feels the same way. She can answer her DMs. That's probably the best way to do it since we're on Facebook right now. We can schedule something, as soon as next week. And what we're going to be doing is popping on Facebook for our lives and just giving you, feeding you a little bit of information, letting you know how everything's going, giving you little hints at what we're doing and how we can help you help yourself.
And that's what really coaching is. It's taking you from where you are now and moving you forward. So as it's time to, instead of lingering where you might have been for the last little while and not moving your life forward, it's time now to start moving. Spring is just about here now, everybody. And it's time to move and getting your life in place. Stop sitting on the sidelines and watching everybody else moving forward. It's time to live the life that you're meant to. And as we're moving forward, we're in a different world now. Years ago, people used to live in being, they had one skill and one thing that they learned through their life and they lived through it, but we don't do that anymore. People are moving and changing and developing more skills than ever before. And it's time to start learning some new things, new skills that will build you. And remember, we have all different options for you. So you want to find out more, DM Nicole or I, and we will be thrilled to jump on a call together or whatever works for you works for us. We're here to help you to move yourself forward.
Beautiful. Well said, my friend. Well said. Kudos.
So we want to thank you so much for joining us today. Put comments below of anything you want to know. You want to get some more information. We'd be thrilled to speak with you at your leisure. And you know what? If something is lingering in your mind, then take the courage to move forward. All you need to do is get on a call and we'll see. Is this right for you? Courage. It's a big word.
Mm-hmm. And big words.
Thank you so much for joining me today. And so and bringing our messages out there to everybody. As we said, next week on Let's Get Real, remember, David Meltzer is going to be joining us in person.
How do I get this? Yeah. Yay.
Joining us live. If you are interested in getting a free copy of his book that is signed, I will be thrilled to send it out. You just have to DM me with your address and no cost to you. I'm just trying to share his messages. I love what he stands for, and he's going to be joining us. So please mark your calendar for 3 p.m. Wednesday, the 15th of March. And also, if you're interested in starting to move yourself forward and recreating or changing your life into a better way, what better way than to join Nicole and I as we help you to reflect, to reinvent, and then to rise. Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to hearing you. And most importantly, we want to know what's holding you back in your life. Comment below and tell us. Thanks, everybody.